The problem that we have in example 7 is an inverse variation problem. It works somewhat similarly to what we had in example 6, in that there is a constant k we're going to try to solve for, but the original setup of the problem will be different. Since in this case our two values vary inversely, rather than a being equal to some constant times b, it will be equal to some constant k divided by b. So there's an inverse relationship between those two values. And what we'll do is look at setting up an equation of that form for this problem. Again, solve for that constant k, and then be able to apply that formula to other scenarios. In example 7, we're told that a dentist determined that the number of cavities, c, that's our first variable, our first value, that develop in a patient's mouth each year varies inversely. That's the next key piece of information we're looking for that tells us we'll use an equation of this form, to the number of minutes, t, spent brushing. That's our second value. His most recent patient had 3 cavities when brushing for 2 minutes each night. We want to use Symbolab to set up an equation for this relationship. So our first value would be c, the number of cavities. That's going to be equal to some unknown constant k. And since these values vary inversely, it will be divided by t, the number of minutes spent brushing. Now we do have a rational equation, and we'll go ahead and plug in the values that were given. In this case, 3 cavities is going to be equal to some constant k all over the 2 minutes that were spent brushing. And we could solve this equation manually, it's not very difficult, or we could solve it using Symbolab to get k is equal to 6. So the constant in our equation that was missing is 6, giving us the equation c, the number of cavities, is equal to 6 divided by t, the number of minutes spent brushing. Then we're asked in part B, how many cavities will this patient likely have next year after brushing for 3.2 minutes each night? So we could calculate the number of cavities by taking 6 divided by 3.2, and then either in Symbolab or a basic calculator, come out that this would be about 1.875, or exactly 1.875, meaning approximately 2 cavities, based off this model that we've constructed.